All right, what's going on, everybody? We're live. So this is our second official live stream. This one's topic is going to be covering should you mod.
Fail.
Every time.
Every time. Whose kid is this? Somebody get your mans.
Anyways, we're going to cover should you mod your daily driver today, which we couldn't do in a video, so we figured we'd sit down for a couple hours and hang out. So I'm pretty sure you know everybody here, but we'll start on this end.
You already know. Ryan D at ZZP, boys.
D, pulling the hat off,
That's
rolling
right.
up the
Ready.
sleeves.
Let's go.
Ashley, and if you're gonna take your hood off, I'm gonna put mine out.
Oh, Christmas tree looking ass girl and shit. That girl looks, y'all see that? She looks like a Christmas tree. This girl is wild.
I'm more like a present, but we'll go Christmas tree.
That is a Christmas tree. Look at that.
Trevor Tim at ZZPerformance.com.
Yep, and I'm Trevor, as always, and we have Eric behind the camera running everything. So if you see ZZPerformance in the chat, it's probably him. ZZPerformance.
What have you been? Can I have some?
I don't know.
We just got done building the most bomb-ass gingerbread house.
We had our ZZP gingerbread house contest.
If y'all don't vote for, because me and Trevor are on the same team, if y'all don't vote for ours, you up a lipstick.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you heard what I said. If you don't,
I don't think they're
That's
going to know
nasty.
who's who.
I know.
You better not bust it out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. But I'm just saying, you better know which one is ours, and you better pick ours.
They're going to know which one is mine.
Yeah, well, yeah,
They're going to know.
yeah, because it's gonna be second place to mine. How about that, Tim?
First question: when are we gonna take dyno orders?
Jeez,
Oh man,
never.
hey,
Never.
Derek.
Whenever Whitmer
sorry,
decides to
man.
open our state back up.
Yeah, we're still on a lot of COVID restrictions, and to protect everyone here, and you guys too.
Yeah.
We have to.
You can't have me climbing in and out of everybody's
Everything
car.
that you literally you live in your car almost. You
Yeah.
go to work, you go home, and you eat, you breathe, you sneeze, you probably wipe stuff you shouldn't wipe stuff in your car.
Y'all
your car
nasty.
has so many germs in it. I don't think people understand.
They say that you're contagious before you even know.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I could be sick
have to
climbing in your car. Like,
Yeah.
Nobody wants
Yeah,
that.
so basically, guys, we're trying to protect everyone here, and you guys as well. So until further notice, I'm sure we'll make an announcement about it. But as things progress and get better, we'll be good. So that'll be that one. So, I mean,
Yeah, everyone let us know if someone's too quiet or too loud. We can adjust it on the fly, so.
A little closer, Tim.
yeah, you
I talk pretty loud.
really.
We are next to
I
Ryan
should
Derek.
probably be at least closer than Ryan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I am right here. I'm eating this mic, so they're gonna hear me.
Eating the mic.
All right, so guys, Trev, what is it today? We're talking about
Should you mod
should
your
you
daily
mod
driver?
Your daily driver. What's crazy is I'm not gonna be as extreme as I usually am. I'm gonna be a little more tempered today. Like, not my personality, but just my opinion on it.
I think it's gonna be great. This is gonna be
Yeah.
like the angel on the shoulder and the devil on the
Yeah,
shoulder.
me and
because
Tim,
Ryan and I are total polar opposites.
Total polar opposites as far as what our philosophies about this are. All right. So I mean, I don't want to take over the thing. So
Yeah,
Trevor,
I guess
lead
I
us
was
on.
just going to kind of introduce, we brought these select people in because we have Tim here, who's owned 30 cars,
Probably,
roughly.
yeah. Probably.
Modded
Man,
all
you
of
probably
them.
own 30 cars since I've known you here.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
don't-
the last few
Yeah.
I don't think I've had too many cars that weren't modified in some way.
I mean, you just picked one up 2 days ago. Another one.
He's owned that one for a bit too. So,
I guess.
Yeah.
but okay.
I got
Would
a
you
collection.
say you've
Okay.
modded any of your cars too far?
Yes.
But do you regret it?
No. Life is a bunch of lessons. It's just a bunch of lessons. Like that's one thing. Like I am kind of like we were talking about this. Like it's a drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Like modifying cars is a straight drug addiction. Just
Yep.
fortunately, it's not unhealthy. I guess like
It can be.
health-wise. Like,
It can be.
it could be unhealthy to your bank account, I suppose. But like.
Yeah.
Relatively.
Relative. Fair
It's
enough.
healthy.
Fair enough, yeah.
But yeah, so like Ryan and I are very different. Like he's very responsible when it comes to his mod car. He's always been a very firm believer in having a stock daily driver, and I am a like modify everything.
Yeah. Even cars that flip. So just kind of
Yep.
get into it. I do believe in modding a daily, but I also believe in having a backup plan. Like, just as far as being good. I definitely suggest, guys, mod your cars. You know, that's what we love to do. We enjoy doing it. It's fun. However, like even in my top 10 video where I said the top 10 ways for you to have a successful build, your build will be more successful when you have the backup plans. Like, remember, you do have to get to work in these cars, right?
Oh, man.
You do have to get to work. I mean, Tim, I'm sure you have stories where you weren't able to get to work because you got a part at the last possible second.
I've swapped turbos in a snowstorm in the parking lot of my appointment to get to ZZP the next morning.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, I've done this.
What car? What's that?
It was a Talon. It was like right when I started at ZZP.
DSM guys. You guys like Mitsu guys together.
Oh, yeah.
Mitsubishi.
Yep.
I've had so many.
It's a good way to start.
I think I've had like 9 DSMs.
9 DSMs?
Yeah, by itself, yeah.
You are a masochist.
Yeah.
Have you ever write down how many cars you owned? Like each car?
I did, but I've lost track now.
Wow.
Like I've stopped keeping track, and I don't know. I don't like to count ones that I only like buy to flip.
Yeah.
Or like if I buy it and I'm like, I don't really like this,
2
so I
months,
sell it.
get rid
Like,
of it, yeah.
I don't only like to keep track of the ones that I like.
Yeah.
And I do want to say that there's another person at this table.
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Trevor.
Mini
yeah.
Tim, you mean?
That is.
Mini Tim?
Someday I'll catch up. Someday.
You're
quick-
probably pretty close.
Yeah. Just to kind of interject with a question from a
Yeah.
customer. It's kind of not related to the daily driver, so guys, try to stay a little on topic today. But I believe a True Street Blacklist asked this question last week. What's the highest horsepower we've seen from an SC LE5? Mid 2s on an average build, mid upper 2s maybe. But you know, honestly, the LE5 isn't the best one to push for power, so we
With a supercharger anyway. I mean, the turbo is going to make
turbos
far
will make more power. Yeah. So I mean, it's not something that we haven't really pushed that one too far into just the 2 liters so much the balance. LE5s are good for turbo setups, lots of low end torque, and then also slingshot's pretty similar to the LE5.
The problem is with that engine is the long stroke has a lot of vibration, and it's hard to like dampen all that vibration, so the engine fails.
Yeah.
And supercharged cars love to rev. If you put a M62 on an LE5 and valve springs, that thing will probably make peak power at 8,000 RPM.
Yeah, it'll still make
but
peak
it's
power.
a 2.4, so it's going to shake itself apart like really
Yep.
quickly.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I mean, but again, 2.4 is a great car. It's actually funny story. I have owned every model of Cobalt except for a 2.4. My first car was a 2005 LS, 05 L61. My next car after that was an LSJ, and then I have an LMF. So the only one I haven't owned is a 2.4.
Do you want one?
I kind of did for a daily driver. I was like, just to have like a Mango F23.
Wait,
coupe.
but aren't we talking about modding your daily driver?
Okay. All right. You're right. Back on topic. Okay. So, I am all for modding like daily drivers and cars. However, I'm all for doing it responsibly. Like, Tim, just talk about like what would you say? Here we go.
Oh,
say you got a 3800. For like, say you got like let's say you get a 2002 GTP mint condition good. What are you gonna do to it for a daily
Holy
driver?
crap, man! Like gears are turning. Like it would be a daily driver, so it would be pretty sweet to have a supercharged car. So cam, headers, intercooler, of course. Yeah, like it's like it's your second car, so keep it supercharged. Keep stick with the roots.
Okay, so all right, I like where you're going. I like to do it because I was gonna add in there that what I encourage is safe modding because you need to have yourself set up to like for safety mods. Get out of here because for instance, 3800 guys. I'm calling you guys out with this one. Actually, Cruze Sonic guys too. Intercoolers. 3800 guys specifically. You guys have the only factory boosted cars without intercoolers. That's not a good idea. I cannot tell you how many times I see the email. Actually, you see them too. Mm-hmm. Hey, I have a totally stock car. Can I drop to a 2.9 pulley? Like, no, guys. Like, you have to do this right. You gotta make the car more efficient, and then you drop the pulley. And that's what you do. You put an intercooler on because that makes the car safer. It cools the charge of air that's going in there. Like, you got to keep up on your maintenance too. Like, get your 180-degree thermostat. Get your PCM tune. Like, do all these things to set yourself up and not just go for the crazy power mods.
Yeah, remember, in the mid 90s, let's say, like all the factory companies like pulled their head out of their butts and they're like, these boosted cars need intercoolers.
Yeah.
I don't know, like like late 80s, early 90s Fords that came supercharged weren't intercooled. You know, the 3800 L67s didn't come intercooled. So yeah, an intercooler should be one of the very first mods. It's like an Estes intercooler is worth like 30 horse, and a stage 2 full size is worth like 50. And that's just because like every other car came with it. And you're finally adding that mod to it. Like it's darn near impossible to even hurt a 3800 that is intercooled.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can even have too small of a pulley. It's going to knock like crazy, but probably not chip a piston.
Yeah.
As soon as you add the intercooler. Obviously, there's probably somebody out there that's chipped a piston with an intercooler, but it's hard.
Yeah, and I'll say even on top of that.
And they knew better, too. Half these people that hurt their engines freaking know better.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I will say, though, too, and this is kind of teetering the line here, but another safety mod is kind of the 85. 85, bird's cooler, more knock resistant, higher octane, between 5 to 12% more power depending on your setup. So in general, it's actually pretty good for cars. That's another thing too.
That's two safe mods that give you power and make your engine more safe.
Yes.
The 85 has more octane.
Yeah.
You know, an intercooler cools your charge temps.
Yep. Exactly. So I think you should be responsible, but mod the crap out of it. Be responsible when you're doing it. Like, don't just go, I'm going to go with the smallest pulley possible, the biggest turbo. Again, about 3 weeks ago, we had a customer that said, I put a ZFR on my stock LTG. I didn't tune it. Now my car is smoking. Why?
I got a misfire. Now it's smoking. Yeah, you LTG guys, intercoolers.
Yes.
The stock one sucks.
Yeah.
LHU Regals, another car like that. An intercooler is huge gains on an LHU Regal.
Yeah.
Not all a Cobalt gains are good.
Yeah.
But not as good as like an LHU Regal or an
it's blocked
ATX.
off. No, they're in a really not a good spot. Now I will say too, Tim, when people are tuning, can you tell if they don't have an intercooler or not?
Heck yeah, I can tell.
So you guys remote tuning guys, that's the move.
LSJ guys, we can tell when your intercooler pumps aren't working.
Yeah.
We can tell when you have a too small of a heat exchanger or a kink in your line. We can tell. Your IAT2s tell us.
Yeah.
ATS guys, Camaro LTG guys, like we can tell. You know, if your MATs are really high, we're gonna be like, hey, get an intercooler on this thing like ASAP.
Yeah, one that sits in front of the radiator and the condenser, not one that sits between it.
I think that's like the main reason when you get big gains is like when you move the intercooler in front of everything. So any car with a factory intercooler that's behind the AC condenser, it probably sucks. It's small, to fit.
And to go along with that, Kevin Martin says, my daily is an F14 ATS all-wheel drive 2.0T. I drive 3K miles a month with a ZZP CAI downpipe intercooler 85 full exhaust rear sway bar, and Turbo Tim has tuned my ATS about 8 times now. Runs great. # go fast, not broke.
That sounds like a great combo.
Yeah.
Denso spark plugs, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure especially you've been tuning with them.
Yeah, that kind of it's a good response to Papa Dark Fluff.
What? What's that?
Papa Dark Fluff down at the bottom. Talking about he has a 14 ATS.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, scroll up.
100K.
Yeah. Papa Dark Fluff.
Yep. That's a really good point too for him.
Jesus. So Ryan, when we admit that LSJ is more reliable than the LNF, I don't remember the last time my LNF intercooler pump ran out and just stopped working. Oh, I don't know. And then I'm making like 300 horsepower, like 400 foot-pounds on like, especially for a daily driver. Sorry, LSJ guys. No, it is not. No, it's not. LNF is a super reliable.
Man, but LSJ's a rev to $8,000.
So, I make torque at 2,000 RPM. Grab a lane.
I'm still waiting for that.
What?
This LSJ LNF. Grab a lane. I'm waiting.
I think we've been to have customers doing all.
L Zion versus Ryan's Cobalt.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Woo!
No, that's a whole different ball game.
Why?
It depends on how I want to cheat or not and go full crazy. Because remember, snowball is not a full crazy.
Let's add a turn. Let's add a turn to that race.
Deal.
Add turn, drag race.
5 turns. We're good. We're good. Even.
One turn.
280 wheel ion redline daily. That sounds fun.
I think
That
it does.
sounds like a blast.
Except you have to do, again, responsibly. Is your intercooler pump working? Do you have a dual pass interplay? Honestly, at that level, you should have an option B tank for larger capacity, too. Is you have a full exhaust. Like, don't just go to smallest pulley and do whatever. But, even at that point, 280, that's kind of Cam's territory. Cam's valve springs. Valve springs is huge too, guys. That's kind of reliability.
Valve springs are very important in the LSJ, the LNF, and the LTG guys.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more and more scans of like wastegate duty cycles dropping in like above 6,000 RPM. What that means is the turbo is basically turning itself down because your valves are floating and the boost is staying the same.
Yep.
So valve springs and LTGs, like everything needs valve springs. We're revving these. We don't rev these things to $5,000. We're revving them to 6,500.
Yeah.
Maybe 7,000 RPM.
By the way, it's so weird to me because I think one of the cars I wrote in of yours had like a 5,000 RPM red line. I'm like, is this 1982? What is going on?
Probably my Ranger.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? Why is this thing redlining at 5,000? What? Whose man's?
That's an interesting, real quick. That's a 2.3 turbo. That is a Cobalt turbo.
It is
KO4 turbo. It makes full boost at 1,600 RPM with a 2.3.
About LNFs. You didn't put an M62 on there. That's what I'm saying. Ashley, what were you about to say?
I was just gonna call out Anthony Shaw on here.
Shaw.
Oh boy.
CTSV Michigan year round. I thought he put that away for the winter.
I think my ATSV is out in the parking lot right now.
Yeah, but it's also not winter in Michigan yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to see Shaw drive that thing in the snow. You come here and show me that you drive it in the snow.
He's gonna just show up here like the next 5 minutes. It's not snowing here. So.
Good. That's a beautiful car to look at anyway.
It's
so nice.
Yeah, he put snow tires on it yesterday, but
he did.
Yeah, he put snow tires on it yesterday.
Yeah, he really does. He just posted. He's got like 60-some thousand miles on it, and he pretty much went full
crazy
mod right off the beginning.
I've seen it.
Now I will say too. I mean, that's another thing. Displacement kind of matters with daily drive. So no, percent gains matters. So here's actually another quick topic. So guys, we're gonna talk about this is kind of still segueing into daily drivers. So we're talking about a little bit about reliability and reasonable outcomes. A lot of times I see people, actually sees them too, because we're like frontline for the customers, say, hey, I don't have a budget. I want to do this. I want to make this power. It's my daily driver. Well, number one, guys, please, if you're asking for help from them, don't ever say you don't have a budget, because if you didn't have a budget, you have a Ferrari. Like, seriously.
Stop saying their budget means nothing.
Yeah, no, it does. To everyone, budget means something.
Yeah.
So you make this plan, and you want to spend the money on the car, which is great. But the thing about it is, you want this car to run like, I call it the need for speed syndrome. Because people think that you can just put infinity parts on a car, like especially like a small displacement 4-cylinder, and you can make, like, just say, using a number out there, hey, car comes with 120 horsepower. I want to make a reliable 700 horsepower daily driving. Guys, think about it. Say you have a V8 that makes starts stock with 640, like the LT4 cars do, or 650. Making 700-800 in that car is a lot easier than making it in a 100 horsepower car. You're doubling, tripling, multiplying the
just to put some real numbers, like real common numbers. A V8 car, you do headers and a cam, and you're going to gain like 15 to maybe 25% power.
Yeah.
Then you take your LNF Cobalt or your LTG Camaro ATS, and you do full mods, cams, turbo. You're like doubling your stock power.
Yeah.
And these people are expecting a double the stock horsepower car to be as reliable and not require any more maintenance than a V8 that just gains like 20%.
Yeah, which is
that makes no sense.
Yeah, a car that it starts off with 600 wheel, making 700 is easy. That's like making 300 horsepower on the LNF, easy mode. But yeah, guys, and please hear us out. We want you to mod your cars. That's good. Modding these cars is what we do. However, it needs to be done responsibly and with realistic expectations.
Yeah.
So do your intercoolers, do your E85, do all this stuff to make the car reliable. And remember, you have to get to work to the next day. So, and I mean, that even goes with driving styles. I'm not going to say a customer's name. I'm not saying anyone's name. I had a customer that his car was misfiring, and I told him not to beat on it until he gets home and change plugs. And he goes out and literally punches it right away.
Leaving our parking lot.
Misfiring the whole way there. I guess that's how you break an engine real fast.
And guess what happened? Ryan called him up.
I did. Guys, I called him and said, I just told you not to be on your car. And he said, I was just checking to make sure it's still misfiring. Yeah, man, it's still misfiring.
Doesn't go away.
What did you do to address the issue? If you didn't do anything to address the issue, then yes, it's still misfiring.
Yeah. Yeah. So once you change it, once you get home and change the plus, car ran fine again. But it's one of those things that you gotta be smart about it. You can't. Even your driving style. Your driving style needs to be appropriate to that.
Cars usually do a pretty good job at telling you when something is going wrong before it goes wrong.
Yes.
Yes, that
And you
check
can-
engine light.
Yeah.
Add to that
tells you
with
what it is.
gauges, aero forces, like you can monitor more things. So if you have a more modified car, so you're more in the know if something is going south and you're like, oh, I need to get this fixed ASAP or whatever.
With modding your car, you have a responsibility to keep it together.
Mm-hmm.
If you floor it and it doesn't quite feel right, something's not quite right.
Yeah.
You better find out what it is.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to blow it up.
Do not continue to floor it to try to say, oh, is it going to do it again? Oh, it's going to do it again? Oh, it's going to do it again?
Man,
yeah,
people
don't
do it
that.
all the time.
Yeah. So, guys, we're saying, like, for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. As we all know, the Snowball's always made a lot of power. It was one of the first ZZP car, or one of the first customer cars that had a ZZP turbo kit on it, if not the first customer car. And going all the way, as I was a customer, I kept doing these things. What I stopped doing, I don't do, like, on the stock turbo, yeah, I'll go out there and, do a top speed run, but that was like a stock turbo stock too. As I made more power, I stopped doing that because it puts a lot of load and a lot of wear and tear on the engine. If I'm going to race someone, I do the race, I let it cool down. I don't go beat on it 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 times in a row, even with a built engine. Because a built engine is there to make and hold the power, but it doesn't mean it's a bulletproof. You can still hurt it. So
You and me were talking too, because back when you were a customer and lived in Chicago, you'd drive 2-3 hours up here, 2 hours back.
Yep.
You do the same in your mod car.
Yep. all the
And you
time.
drive differently if you're going across
Yes.
multiple states
Mhm.
than
Yes.
a 15-minute
way,
romp around
way
town.
different.
Like,
Like, I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to race everyone I see
yep.
on the way there because I'm trying to get good gas mileage, or the best gas mileage I can, trying to make it to my destination safe.
And not get pulled over.
And not get pulled over. And then, because also, too, I want the car to survive. And I don't want to have to, how much of a pain in the behind and how expensive it's going to be to tow a car through a few state lines?
Especially if it's lowered with nice wheels. You don't want to risk any of that.
So much, like, just tearing off bumper covers, like, scratching wheels, like, so you can screw it up. Like, the last thing you want to do is have the car in a trailer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like-
If you can avoid it at all possibility, do it. It's
Yeah.
not a fun time. So when you're making these high horsepower vehicles, like, it is possible to have a 600 horsepower daily driver,
Yep.
but you have to drive like you have a 600 horsepower daily driver. Like, don't go to work because, again, we have people, oh, yeah, I do top speed runs every day to work. Well, you may not want to do that with a 600 horsepower car because, number one, you're going really fast. Number two, you can endanger yourself. And number three, that's a lot of wear and tear on the car. Like, that's what you have to do. Uh-oh. Who's talking?
Read it out loud.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't even know how to say it. Komahobi? The guy on the left dyno tuned my Regal last year and left his credit card in my car.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Don't ever put your credit card in a pocket that's not where it belongs. I think I put it in my hoodie pocket and fell out.
So Anthony Shaw, that's what makes Ryan and I different. Race everybody always. Yeah, you have a car that easily can make 800 horsepower. That's like an LNF making like 300 horsepower. Yeah.
His car ends in V. That means it was built from the factory
in
to
V.
go fast. He's got all the coolers.
I want to
He's got
know
oil
who's
coolers.
on his speed dial for when he gets put in jail.
Yeah.
Oil coolers, axle fluid coolers, tranny coolers. Like, that car is built to beat the hell out.
Yeah, it's a flagship car. So a question, just to intersect with a question here. JK Car Crazy, what are the biggest differences in a GM Stage 2 LSJ tune and a ZZP tune, assuming you kept the same pulley size and injectors being 42? Tim, you used to be one of our LSJ tuners, but you still tune them. Why don't you answer that one?
Primarily, like, power enrichment crap. Like, the GM air fuel ratio was terrible. I don't know if they were trying to pass emissions or what, but like, the tune starts off crazy lean and then ends super rich. Like, we're talking like starts in the 13s and ends in the 10s.
Jesus.
For air fuel ratio. Also, there's a lot of like stuff we do that, optimal timing adjustment, because GM still doesn't want to warranty that engine.
Yep.
They still know people are going to go jump in the car and do, 540 to 150s in it within a 5-minute time span.
Yes.
And I know you guys do it because I get the scans.
Yeah.
I get the
doing that, guys.
Every week there's multiple. Like, when I get a remote tune, I only need like 2 or 3 gears of full throttle. That's it. I don't need like that 5 times in a row. Like, please stop doing
Yeah.
it.
Donaldo Trump. That's funny. My car is having a problem. It's an LNF tuned on 26 psi and recently have only been running 12 to 15. Do y'all think it's a bypass solenoid? I can hear. I assume it's like here, like this, not like here. The boost bleeding off and turbo spool. You probably have a boost leak somewhere, dude. But read the check engine light. Another thing is maintenance wise, guys. Check engine lights tell you exactly what's wrong with your car. If you have a rich code, you have a boost leak.
Check engine light is not there for us to delete code so it goes away.
Yeah.
It's there to diagnose a problem with the car.
Literally tells you what is wrong.
Yeah, read the code and you'll be good. Matthew Chevalier, sorry if I mispronounced your name, man. Why wouldn't you mod your daily? Well, that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about, doing it properly. It's just going balls to the wall.
Like we said earlier, I mod every car. I mean, every car I drive is highly modified.
Which is crazy too. So, just as a story too. So 2 things real quick. I've had 3 daily drivers that I have not modified. But I had the snowball at the same time. Then I had the snowball and the ATS for another one. So when I was living at home with mom and all that stuff, I had my daily driver was a Riviera. And I think sorry Riviera guys, I hate that car. It was a tank. That thing lasted forever. That thing got cool in it and it's still like I jumped that thing going like 80 over a speed block and that thing still didn't die. It was sweet, but it was an ugly car. So I didn't care to mod it. I'm like, I'm not gonna really like this thing, so whatever. So I modded it, didn't mod it, and I drove it daily, put 87 in it, just drove it. And it lasted, it did good.
300-something thousand.
363,000 miles until the fuel pump died.
Holy smokes.
Drove that thing. I drove it up here once.
3,800 life right
Dude,
there.
they will survive anything.
Reliable.
Yeah. So then, if the snowball was down or was up here getting mods or something, I had a daily drive. I had a way to get back and forth to work. To pay
Should
for
have been
all
a
this
lot
mess.
of fun with a 2.5-inch downpipe HV3 and a tune, though.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. However, I'd rather put that money into my one car instead of splitting apart 10 cars.
That's a true point.
Yeah.
That's smart thinking there.
Because actually, Tim and I
More
talk
money
about
for
it.
one car.
Yeah, Tim and I talk about it. Like, he's like, man, I wish I could just not mod a car because I can put more money into the one car that I like. I mean, you said it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but then my next daily driver, I got a Spark, and I still love that Spark. I kind of wanted to mod that one. I want to put RPF ones on it.
If you had it long enough, you would have. Let's be honest.
But it was stock. It was a 5-speed manual. That thing was so it had like 80 crank, and I was bang gears, but it was alive.
Rear sway bar, some wheels.
Oh no! Oh no!
Some coilovers.
No!
It would have been real sweet.
No! Just
The difference between you two guys, from what I can tell, is Ryan is very, I think the word is intimate with his cars.
Yeah.
You've shown me slideshows you made before you purchased your car.
Yeah.
You're like, I want this year, this color. Here's all of my mods I'm getting, the order I'm getting, which month I'm gonna save up for each.
One
And
of
you
my
stuck with it too.
Yeah.
One
But
of
you,
my-
on the other hand, you're like, oh, this is a good deal. I'm gonna buy it. Do I like it? I think it needs a sway bar. I think
Yep.
I don't really like this. So I'm
yeah,
gonna
sell it the next
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Trailblazer SS story.
Oh man.
Guys,
I just wanted a Trailblazer SS so bad.
Tim wanted. I've always kind of been interested in it too. Like, Trailblazer does be a pretty sweet car, this and that. So Tim
Is this
says,
back when they were new or like recently?
No, this was recently. This was like 3
or 4 years ago?
3 or 4 years ago. So he just shows up one day with a Trailblazer SS. I'm like, what the heck? What are you doing? He's like, I just want to get it. He drove for 2 days, like, I don't like it. You sell it. And he sold it. And then he sold it to Steve Hickman.
Yeah, Steve still has it.
Steve-
Oh, that
used to be
you were
yours?
Yeah, that was
No
Tim's car
way.
originally. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got it and I was like, oh, nope, this is not really what I wanted.
Yep.
That
I
is
thought
such a Steve Hickman car, though.
It's
Sure
a
is.
total Steve Hickman car for sure.
I mean, a perfect example too would be we have several shop Sonics
Yes.
that are now not stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about that too? Because the only reason that they're not stock is literally because
Because
of
of
him.
Tim.
It's literally
It is-
because of Tim.
yes.
The install bay manager.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we got this leftover set of lowering springs and struts from Ashley's car. She went
Okay.
coilover. Let's throw those out
Yeah.
of red side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to one of my really close friend, Jonathan McDonald. He did our fan art for you guys saw the fan art of
Yeah.
it. I was driving to his wedding. I was in his wedding. I was one of the groomsmen. And I drove our red sign down there because it gets a lot better gas mileage than my ATS does, and it's just a stock, reliable gas getting car. It had like an intake on it. That's about it. And that car got 42 miles to the gallon. I put that thing in Cruze like 73 miles an hour. I was like, oh man, this is great. I had to fill up like one time going down. It was great. And then I come back with it, don't see it for a while. All of a sudden, this thing has like a V3 turbo on it, fucking valve springs, lowering springs, freaking every intercooler, bolt-on, test parts. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm driving it right now because of winter.
Yeah.
Somewhat winter.
Yeah.
And I got on the highway after driving the 1.8 for a week, and I punched it, and I was like, "Whoa!
Yeah.
What is this?"
And
I can hear the intake and the turbo, and I'm like, "Tim, that car is so much fun."
Yeah, see, that's
so much fun.
And you know what it is? Throughout the last winter where I drove with this, I was like, "Hey, it's a good day to drive. A good ride.
Nothing's into it. Just kidding.
No start. It's quiet. This and that." Mm-hmm. Tyler just got an HHR. And I will say it's weird because Tyler Vogt, he even modifies all his cars. And I drove his HHR. It was quiet. I was like,
I heard you trying to talk him into it. You were like, don't do anything. It's nice and quiet, cruising. Like,
little thing, reliability mod here and there. No. That's it. But again, as long as it's done responsibly, kind of getting back on that. But I also, my Spark I never modded. And then for a little while I had an LTG Regal. I didn't touch it. I'll say the LTG Regal, the Regal, the 2015 Regal GS, that thing probably had, first of all, the best slide output in the headlights, and it was super comfortable. I really liked that car. But anyway, going back to on topic.
It could have been cooler, though.
Don't.
Could have used a tune and a downpipe.
Okay, all right, story.
And a colder intake.
Do you remember the ZZP 16th mile? Shut up, no. Remember the ZZP 16th mile? So guys, on the side of our building, we have a short
industrial strip.
Yeah, industrial strip. And so the Regal was all-wheel drive, and we was having some fun with it. And I started calling people. I'm like, I'll go take any of you guys in the ZZP 16th mile and this and that, because it was 100% stock Regal. I beat everybody except for two people, and that was Tyler and his Camaro, and then Tim and he had a Mercedes all-wheel drive. I even tried to cheat against Tim. I was like, I'm going on 2. And Tim went on 2 as well.
We know each other too well.
Yeah, he knew I was going to tell him. The cars make like 300 more horsepower than my car, but no, it was fun. But yeah, in my opinion, it's all about modding reliably and modding reasonably. Mod the crap out of your cars. I say do that. But, like, reliability-wise and things like that.
Do the maintenance and drive it appropriately.
Do the maintenance, yeah.
You can't do a bunch of top speed runs, punch it through a few gears and give it some time for it to cool down.
Yes.
One thing.
Change the oil based on, abuse.
Yeah.
Don't go by that stupid GM oil change interval. Like, that thing is, like, probably times 2 or times 3 over what it should be.
That's what I was basically going to say that, like, I'm sure us three and you a little bit going to the track and stuff, like after every track day I change the oil in my car, and before every track day I put it up and do a bolt check. I guess nobody else has ever heard of a bolt check, but if you've ever modified your suspension you should be doing that.
Yeah.
And if I go out like on a Friday night with some buddies and I'm ripping around town, I'm beating on the car like I would at a track. That's a track day. So afterwards you should be changing your oil, checking your bolts, making sure everything's tight still. Like, it's kind of part of the game.
Okie dokie Mang Ernie says, do you mod the interior of your daily? I think appearance mods, that's something different. Like appearance mods, that's not going to affect the reliability of the car at all. I am all for it for doing appearance mods, and everyone knows me. My inner ricer shows a lot, and I would say go crazy.
Then the interior car is where you are.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you see, like, probably 90% of the time you're messing with your cars, your interior, so heck yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely say definitely do that.
Seats are underrated. Like,
seats
a nice pair of racing seats are
super
awesome.
underrated.
Like, if you ever swapped your seats, you would probably never go back to a stock seat again.
Freaking Bo. 3800 Rivy, baby. 3800 power, turbo Riv. Bo, go home. Good job. Let's see. What else we got going on here?
GTO Dad, I love that statement.
What did you say?
Read it out.
I have a bad habit of starting out with, I have my GTO, then buying a Sonic for a daily, then discovering places like ZZP and wondering why my LSX long block is still sitting there half belt. Yep.
That Sonic, man. That Sonic will take over.
It sucks you in.
That Sonic is one of the funnest vehicles we've had.
I think everybody here at one point has thought about buying one or sends each other posts and ads for them for sale. Like, hey, buy this one, go buy this one.
Next on my list.
Like,
Yeah.
and the mods are so cheap that like
Yeah.
once a month you could throw $100 at it.
A Sonic is like this weird car that I have this weird love affair with. Like obviously, you know, like once they hit 300 horsepower, I'm like, okay, this thing's on my radar now. But before they were like under 200, I'm like, it's a cool car, but you're never gonna make power of it. And then we made power of it because that's what ZZP does. Go fast, not broke.
That car, the 1.4 was a struggle for ZZP for years.
Yeah.
I gotta give Al some credit. Like
Yeah,
Al kind of jumped
100%.
in on the 1.4 and kind of took it over. And like, there were times to where we're like, we need to make 300 horse in this car. And no, Steve Hickman and I were driving it with like a tune and like basic bolt-ons. And Steve were like, man, this car would be so much fun with 250 horse. Yeah. And we're like, it'll never happen. You know, and we had that car for years. Yeah. Al shows up and he kind of takes it over, and the car's making.
Well, the thing about it is, we all knew it could happen. Even you, because I remember we were in Chicago at the time. I was still a customer. And we were like, yeah, it's possible. It's just, you know, we have so many other things we're working on. And as we grew and got actually serious into it, you know, because that's the thing. You know, what we try to do is we always say we have the thing. You know, we would start making the bolt-ons, this and that, and then we try to do as best we can. And you know, once we get like really serious about doing the stuff for it, so that's you know. It's kind of normal with that.
It was funny because with the Sonic, the whole time it was just a stupid turbo.
Yeah.
It was just a turbo.
Yeah.
That turbo is such a choke point. Like a penny? You can't fit a penny through the choke point of the turbine housing? Al figured that out, put back pressure sensors on there, and we're like, holy crap. It was like oh, here we go. And Al engineered a turbine housing, and that like uncorked the car.
Yep.
Just fixed it. And now we're talking about having 300 wheel horsepower, totally daily drivable Sonics.
Yeah.
Like,
Now,
and we have another awesome turbo coming out for them. Like, you know, whew.
Project
V3
K.
is awesome, and
Yep.
better ones coming.
All right, I'm about to go a little Ryan right here. Outcast sings. What is your info on ghost cams or decel your car? I assume you mean crackle tunes. Okay.
Don't even.
Guys, that shit. I'm gonna say this. That's Ricer shit. And I'm a Ricer.
Ricer is shit.
Like, guys, no one thinks that the crackle and pops and all that, you just, I mean, again, I had the point where I thought straight piped LSJs sound good, which they don't, and all this other stuff, but, you know, ghost cams, you're faking the funk. Get an actual cam for the car.
Yeah.
You know, if you do that, then make it, you know, cam a little bit fine, but then all the crackles and pops, no, that's dumb. You know, like...
There was a day I was outside, and, you know, all my cars are mod cars, so, of course, a pack of 3 Ford Focuses drive by, and they all did the decel crackle tune to a stop at the intersection. I hate that crap.
Yeah.
I despise crackle tune stuff so much I can't even say.
It's probably the most annoying sound a car can make.
Yeah, it's guys, sorry, it's not cool. Like, when a Ferrari shoots flames and stuff and makes a little of that, that's different. Yeah. But you can't do that, like, walk quietly, carry a big stick. Please. Like, the crackle tune shit, no, that's whack.
If you ask me to do it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
we'll laugh at you.
I will tell you in the email, we don't do Ricer shit. Yeah. You know, another two, kind of jumping back to a customer that asked about the LSJ with the 42s. Get rid of 42s. We don't suggest 42s for almost anyone. Like, if you just have like a stock car maybe, but just get 60s. Everyone just get 60s.
Yeah, you pretty much have to.
Yeah.
A tune, colder intake, downpipe LSJ maxes a set of 42s. Just like that. Done.
Yep.
Maxed.
Tooth poots. LSJ 400 horsepower daily. If you're turboing. Because the turbo, with a ZZP full turbo swap kit with an intercooler, that's actually a reliability mod in my opinion, because it gets rid of the heating, and actually car is way more efficient. So I say yes to that.
Keaton just said, I have a 2004 Iron Redline, daily 450 wheel.
There you go.
Sounds fun.
Sounds like, especially if you do it, if you're driving in the winter and all that. Obviously, people that live in the warmer states like Cali and Arizona, so they have a little bit of an advantage with this. But, I think it's two guys. Again, going back to my thing earlier, just make sure you have a backup, because something else too I kind of want to touch on. Customers that will, when they break something, they have to, I gotta get it right now, oh my god. Guys, please remember, we have a lot of customers we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. We'll get stuff out as fast as we can for you. However, your emergency isn't our emergency, to say that in the nicest way possible. Like, we have other customers that are friendly. We have to be fair to everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
if somebody ordered a part before you, their part's hopefully going to go out before yours.
exactly.
It's not like hire more shippers. It's not that. It's like, this is a hard season. Like, everybody's modding their cars right now. Like, and then companies that make the parts are shutting down. Like, we're staying open. So, like, we're trying our hardest to keep up with orders. But, I mean, it's hard right now.
Absolutely.
And a lot of items, too. Like, if, yes, I understand you need a new downpipe, something happened in your flex section. It's a made-to-order item.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't just have a warehouse of them just sitting on the shelf ready to go.
Guys,
and then you also have to remember all of those previous orders that the fabricators are still working on. Like, you have to understand it's not one of those things where it's not Amazon. We are not Amazon by any means.
Not.
We are not. You're not going to order it tonight and get it in 2 days. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
If you want something reliable for your vehicle, let us take the time to make it.
Correct. Yep.
That's all.
Another thing too, like, people always say, well, just hire more people. It's not that easy.
It is
Do
not.
you know
The
how
more
hard
people
it
we
is
get, the
to
more
find-
orders we're going to get.
Yeah. Do you know how
Honestly.
hard it is to hire another welder?
Yeah.
Like, yes, during our slow season, which is coming up, maybe.
I don't think we've had one. We didn't have one this
Stimulus
year.
is probably not going to
Nope.
let us have a slow season.
Nope, not
Our
at all.
slow season is where we get those LTG downpipes made and stacked, and racked.
Yeah.
If we don't get a slow season because of a stimulus, then we don't get to. Then that downpipe continues to be made in small groups because we have LHG downpipes to make.
Yep.
Or LSJ downpipes to make.
ATSV.
Like, we have to
ATSV,
balance these.
Yeah, we have to do everything in our runs too. So that's the thing. Like, guys, our fabricators, like, we have a set of 5 tables right now, constantly running with
Yeah.
parts
I think
on them.
6.
Full time.
6, yeah, full time. And we
Full-time
have our
welders.
CNC machine running constantly. We have our pipe bender, our mandrel bender running constantly. So we're doing our
Yep.
best. But people got to, like, especially when you mod your daily, you got to be understanding and say, all right, I kind of did this myself a little bit. Like, we'll get out as fast as we can. And if we have it on the website, either we have the parts or it's in, it's in stock, and we'll get it made. We'll always get it out to you. We have recently had a customer that obviously didn't hear about us from the 3800 game. It's like, "Are you guys a reputable company?" Like, we are the 30. We are the 3800 people to go to. But yeah, he canceled his order because it's taking too long. Even though it was a pre-order item and stuff. But whatever, he didn't. His loss.
Let's catch up on some of these questions here.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
How worse from in Pericles? How worried should I be about the stock internals of my 13 ATS 6 MT daily in terms of modding? As long as you're using, take a look at my top 5 video or the ZZP top 5 video for the ATS. As long as you're doing the maintenance with the plugs, with the oil, and then you're treating it car right, 13 is fine. That's Matt's all-wheel drive ATS is still the fastest quarter mile time for that car.
That's a maintenance car.
Yes.
That's one of the most, like, you have to be the most careful with that car.
Yep.
You can't just run any oil. You got to run like a Mobile One ESP or low ash oil.
Yep.
Because those have that LSPI.
Yep.
Load
Exactly.
speed pre-ignition.
Yeah, pre-ignition, yep.
You have to pay attention at a gas station too. Like, run premium fuel from a premium station.
Yeah, don't go to Bob's General Store at the end and call it.
If you have me, I'm the one that tunes the 13 ATS. If you have me tune it on, the greatest fuel in your state, and then you're on a road trip and you stop by some no-name place, maybe you might want to take it easy on that tank of fuel, or scan it to make sure you're not getting knocked with that different fuel, because every tank of fuel is different than the last.
Exactly, 100%. So Matthew Australia again. You guys have plans to explore the 1A in the future? I can't say for sure, Matt. Not right now. It's not on the radar. We have a few other projects. The 1.4 is kind of taking our priority with that, as long as well the LTG and stuff like that. So I can't say for sure.
One problem with the 1.8 was we put out a group buy on the turbo kit. It was kind of not really a group buy. It was like, hey, here you go.
Yeah.
If 10 of you guys will commit to this turbo kit by putting, I think it was like $150 or $200 down.
Yep.
If 10 of you commit to it, we will make this kit.
Yep.
If we can't fill 10 orders for it, we're not going to make it.
Yep.
We're not going to make this kit.
And guess what
I
happened?
think like 3 or 4 people made
2.
a down payment.
2.
So it's like,
2?
yeah.
2 people.
Like, so that's why we don't support some cars. So honestly, we're probably not going to support the 1.8.
Yeah. Yep.
There's just you have to feed who wants
parts. Yep. That's why it's kind of weird we get Equinox guys and stuff. Hey, Equinox, sorry.
Hey, sorry.
Joseph Cox, what kind of power gauge can I do to my 2017 Chevy Cruze? We have a tune. The tune is going to be the best power mod for that car. We unfortunately we don't know if we're going to get into them too much further than that as of right now, but maybe.
We had total plans, total intentions on it, but then COVID hit and business blew up as soon as it happened. And now it's like, there's so many R&D things we're trying to do.
Yep.
Gen 2 Cruze is kind of low on the list.
Yeah, very
since it's a
low.
totally
Yeah,
different
not only
car.
that, but we also couldn't be here. There was a lot of us that couldn't be here. So half
Yeah.
of us were here and half of us weren't.
Yep.
Yeah, we were out
It
of
made us
working from home for what, 3 months or something?
3 months, yeah, literally 3 months, yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Stout, why no Focus ST, Fiesta ST stuff? Expense, no demand, too many manufacturers already. GM is our bread and butter, so we stay with what we kind of know. We're branched out a little bit here and there, but once
we do some Ford EcoBoost stuff.
we're doing the F-150s now, but that's why we're branching out a little bit. But it's a pretty saturated market already. There's a lot of Focus ST stuff. GM Ecotec has been our niche, and so that's what we're going to continue to do. But you never know what the future holds.
We are hoping to take down the record of both those cars, though.
Yeah, with the Sonic. The Sonic is close to the Fiesta.
You should
ST
probably
record.
sell whatever
Nice.
you have and get a Sonic.
I would,
Edgar Rodriguez, when will when you guys have more F35 submissions? Probably not for a long time or never. Once they're out, they're out. If you snooze, you lose, man.
Those were brand new from factory.
we
and now
bought
they're
all we
out.
could.
Yeah.
I love the sound of my Regal when it pops on D-cell. Sorry, dog, probably doesn't sound that good.
But wait, okay, a normal sound, one that's not tuned in. Yes, obviously. Like that time you were behind me and you're like, oh, your car just sounds so
Yeah.
good when you just,
Because it's the actual
normal.
sound the car is
It's
making.
normal.
It's not a fake. Yeah.
Exactly.
Want to be boosted. What's the base stuff to make an LSJ have 300 horsepower? If you're talking 300 crank, stage 3 kit, dual pass end plate, ZZP 3-inch quarter intake, valve springs, stage 2 cams, long tube header exhaust. That's your model list right there. 300
Done.
horsepower.
Perfect.
This and
Ooh.
that.
LSJ or Sonic?
Ooh.
Personally,
I kind of have a lot of opinion on this.
go for it.
I have to tread carefully because I've owned a lot of LSJs, and I love the LSJ. The Sonic is a slightly nicer car. The interior is more put together. It's a more solid car. It has factory nice radio. Everything is built
It's
a little
newer.
nicer in the
It's-
Sonic.
The RS package is cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
RS
Cool
package
stuff.
has a lot of cool upgrades.
It's a newer car. The Cobalt is an older car, so obviously has older technology in it.
But you can make more power.
You can make a lot more power with it. So
I guess it's maybe an easy option. The
What do you
Sonic
want?
is
Yeah.
never going to be as fast as mod for mod. An LSJ is always going to win.
yeah, mod for mod. Yeah, mod for mod. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're getting pretty close now with these Sonics. So
But we made 898 wheel on an LSJ.
we did.
We're not going to touch that with a 1.4.
You don't
so
know.
the LSJ
You don't
makes
know.
will continue to make more power. But the Sonic is an awesome platform.
Michigan Sound Wizard. I didn't say that. I said we are the 3800 guys. I didn't say we're not because the community is made of all the people. We are not 3800
Just love
community.
this wording,
We're the
that's
biggest
all.
supporter of the 3800 community, but we are not 3800
We're,
guys.
we're the one place that stuck around through everything.
Exactly.
Never dropped.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we're caught up with questions. We can
Yep.
kind of get
Let's
back at
get
it.
some stories of. I think we've all started out. Actually, you still kind of rock one car usually. You're kind of a truck person too, though. So,
Yeah.
but you.
Actually, those white people shit.
But we've all started out with one
I
car.
said it.
Tim and I have Tim and I have a
Tim
love
actually
for
white people shit. They go like the sand dunes
Yeah.
and jump
Yep.
shop
Yeah.
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tim took me one
Off-road,
time.
a lot of off-road
I was liking
vehicles.
it, but at the time he took me in his Ranger, and it wasn't set up very well for it at the time.
No.
So I didn't. My first time there was not a good time. But then Tom took me in the truck, and that was fun. I would say that was fun. That was fun white people shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
Dune Trucks is pretty fun.
Yep,
It's definitely
that or
fun, doing all the hobbies.
razors side by
That's-
sides, things like
all
that.
the hobbies.
That's kind of what gets you into trouble because I have like 1,000 hobbies. Woo!
Yeah,
But
two Dune
You're never
Trucks,
bored.
a road course car, a drag car,
Yeah.
So guys, I will say
multiple
too.
daily drivers. Yeah.
Tim also has an idea. He wants to get a car and do like, and again, this is not to sound arrogant, but he wants to do like a snowball style build where he touches everything. He touches like I do interior, exterior stuff. But Tim's problem is Tim doesn't keep a car long enough to do that.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely envious of the snowball on that level. Like, it's got a big wing. It's got canards on it. Like, it's got
maybe.
Yeah.
It's got a splitter for it. Like,
It's got canards on now.
I haven't done a car to that level yet because it always gets to like 90% and then I cut it.
Yeah.
Ryan's the guy that follows through the full 100%, which is cool.
I've had the car for over 10 years now. I bought a new 2009, and again, it's right now still to this day the only Cobalt to win a Week Fest, and so 2018 was a good year for.
It's got a lot of record stuff like that.
And then it's still the fastest half mile LNF too. Like I've done a lot with that car. I've been there, done that with that car.
So everybody think of their best daily driver mod car story. I know you were talking about the Eclipse. Do you have any others, or was that the epitome
my Eclipse
of
is how I got my job here. So I had
tell that story.
Yeah.
Tell because people want to hear that one.
Because you were drag racing it, right?
Yeah, it was before I knew road course. So before I got introduced to road course by Ryan.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I had a 92 Eclipse back in the day, all-wheel drive, 5-speed car, and it was like a low 12-second car back in like 99.
By the way, guys, that's fast. Like people don't realize the power creep has come up a lot. Like now you see, it doesn't make 1,000 horsepower. It can't be on our video. No, like 12s back in the day, especially on some on the street, that's fast.
Yeah, I raced many 10-second V8 cars on the street and murdered them with that car. And Zoom had his first GTP.
The red one?
Yep, the GTP. And he challenged me to a race, so we were just like friend, like car friends.
Yeah, acquaintances kind of thing.
Yeah, like we weren't like buddies, but we like hung out, doing car stuff. And I murdered him. And then he went and did a bunch of new mods. I think Nitrous was one of those new mods. And then I murdered him again. Yeah. And then, I ended up working for ZZP shortly later.
That's kind of how you got the nickname too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turbo Tim.
Because you were he was doing supercharger stuff.
When I first came here, I knew of Tim, but I didn't knew Tim. And he didn't have a turbo car. I'm like, why is he called Turbo Tim? He had an Ion with a supercharged Ion at the time. What the heck?
It was because I had a bunch of turbo imports and stuff before
yeah.
ZZP, and then Matt was like, we need to make a turbo kit for this 3800, and he's like, turbos. Do you want to turbo a Grand Prix? And I'm like, yep. So I bought a Grand Prix, and Matt turboed it for me. Basically, he fabbed the whole turbo kit, and then they're Turbo Tim.
Are you kind of back to? Because I think you're back to being Turbo Tim. Let's see. Tim has a lot of turbos right now.
Yeah.
So Tim has an M6 Grand Coupe, a blue one.
Yep. Twin turbo.
That's a twin turbo V8. He has an ATS-V, with another 2 turbos. So there's 4 turbos between those cars.
V6, yeah.
And then
the Turbo Ranger.
The Ranger's a turbo. That's a KO4.
And then a supercharged F-150. So I got one supercharger yet. And then the Turbo Sky.
Yeah,
Road
Sky.
course.
Yes, the Sky
Road course.
Yeah. So he has. What's that? What do we count? Is that 6 turbos? That's 6 turbos to everything?
4, I think, maybe?
No, because
Did you count the 2? Yeah.
Oh, geez. Oh,
That's
so like
the actual amount of turbos,
yeah.
So that's 6 turbos. So he's back to being Turbo Tim again.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I have my love for all boost. Superchargers, turbo. I love them all.
Yeah, but turbo's flat. So my daily driver story. I know you have some too.
What is your most modded car you dailied? What stage?
For sure.
The Snowball for sure.
Where was it at when it was like daily driver though?
605.
Really?
Yeah.
It was still daily.
He had his backup car.
I had my Riviera at the time.
Yeah.
But you didn't drive it.
No, I didn't. In summer, I flexed so hard. So by the way, so the first thing I did after I made 605, I was like one of the first ones to hit 600. I went because it was night. I left. And it's funny to me because Matt was talking to another guy. It's funny. He said, "Yeah, it's probably not gonna last too long at that power, but it lasts a long time. With there." But next morning, I went and got a haircut, put my shoes I never worn on before, got cleaned up. Nobody could tell me nothing. I was like, "You want to go? You want to go? You want to go? Let's go!" Like I was, and because at the time too, like there was around the time where 6 horsepower Cobalt, like literally nothing. I beat Nitrous in 5s. Full bolts on in 5s. I was beating a lot of cars. Like I very rarely lost. And people kind of knew about this white Cobalt hanging around Chicago. If any guys are still around there from that time. But so I drove it back. It was still modded up, still looking like it was. And I on the way home, because I was a zookeeper before working here, so this is a big career change for me. Tim called me. Different story. But I was notorious for racing bikes. I was never scared of a 600.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as one
Nope.
car Cobalt, let's go.
Well, because front wheel drive, you just spun out the hole, so it's
Yeah.
all highway.
Wait,
So the
Yeah.
Cobalt
Yeah.
would murder a 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the highway, all day.
My Turbo Grand Prix would beat 600s on
Yeah.
the highway.
Yeah, easy. So I would do that on the way home from work. First of all, I drove to the zoo. The zoo was about a 40-minute drive for me. I took the hood off the car. I'm like, I'm flexing. I'm flexing. I got pulled over twice going to work that day. I got pulled over twice. He said, "Oh, you can't be running around here without a hood." And I'm like, "Is it illegal?" "Well, no, but you're going to distract somebody." I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
That's the point.
Yeah.
Breaking too many necks.
But I raced a bike there, and all of a sudden, I heard someone clunk, and I was like, I let off me. I was beating him, so I was winning. Then he did. He kept going. I was like, this guy. So I limped the car home, and I kind of just take I pop on the hood, and something broke. I forgot what it was. Something small. No, it was a ball joint popped out. Ball joint popped out on the suspension. Don't know how. So you stock control arms and stuff too. I mean, it was stock. It was just stock suspension besides my stance coilovers. That was it. And so I had to be at work the next morning. The zoo did not play like that. It was a 7 o'clock shift morning, so I had to park it. I just drove the Riviera next. I was very sad. I was very, very sad.
And you lost a race.
And I technically lost a race, which is bad. But yeah, that's saying like if I didn't, I kind of been screwed the next day because it was late when I got back. It was 40 minutes. I got off real late, so.
You should have had spare control arms in your garage.
Dude,
Rookie move.
Dude.
Yeah. Swap in your garage.
Yeah.
Bad. So, yeah. What about? I know you have some. You have any good daily driver stories?
Yeah. You've
God.
gone fully modded Sonic in the winter with snowboards.
My very first car was a Grand Am GT, and let me tell you, that was a race car to me, like full on.
Very underrated car. Grand Am GTs are pretty sweet.
The little traction control
in the
button,
day-
turn it off.
Back in the day, they had a sweet interior.
They were really cool.
They
I loved
looked
it.
Faster than they were. I'm gonna say I'm
Oh, it wasn't fast. I
Yeah.
know it wasn't fast, but
That was a pretty cool car.
in my head,
Yeah.
compared to the other cars that were on the street, it was faster than them.
Yeah, for sure.
And so growing up in Chicago, whoever grew up in Chicago, you know of Archer Avenue.
Yep.
That's the meetup spot. That's the spot. That's where you go. You bring your cars. And, I obviously wouldn't mess with any cars that were obviously going to take me out, but press the little traction control button. And I
the
take off
AC
from a
off.
light. Yep, take off from a light. I was cool. I didn't do anything to it. I blew it up eventually.
Yeah, nice,
But
nice,
yeah, I loved that car. That was my first car, and that's how I started and hung out with big car scene people in Chicago, going back to the quarries and
Yeah.
all the
Chi-Town
Drolley
Racing
Road
Companies,
and everything,
yeah.
going out to all those street races, and then now here I am, and got a daily driver that probably has more mods than it does stock on it now.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I
That's
drove
a lot.
that thing down just a few months ago to Ohio-Kentucky border with a new prototype turbo on it. Did just fine. Came back.
Is that the one I wasn't supposed to talk about earlier?
Yep.
I mean, everybody knows about it. They
No,
just
they
don't know
don't.
what it is.
Such, both
So
of you.
sweet.
Both of you.
So
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
it
no,
does
like,
great.
do you have any? In fact, you do have a daily
yeah.
driver. One
Yeah.
that's still
I
busted
have
right now.
one cool story about my daily driver that is still broken, but
Yeah.
I have multiple cars, so I just swap on and off or whatever. But my rally art, like right when I started here, it's just like a bolt-on car. It's nothing too crazy,
Just
but
a wide body kit, wheels lowered, like
well, that's
Pretty
the
custom.
thing is
pretty done.
so I was driving here one of my first few days of work, and someone pulled out in front of me in 28th Street, busted the front fender. So I limped it to work, limped it home. It was my only car, and I was like, "Oh, do I get a new fender and paint it?" And then I was hanging out with Ryan a ton at the time, and he was like, "Come on, dude, wide body or like, what are you even doing?" So
I did say that.
bought a wide body kit. I borrowed a friend's car, drove to Chicago, picked the wide body kit up from the importer, drove home. Friday night, I pulled the whole car apart, did the whole fiberglass bodywork, painted it Saturday night, Sunday, fitted everything, and drove to work back again Monday.
Yep. Again.
It was my only car.
Yep.
I had like tiny wheels for like 2 weeks because I couldn't.
Like the fender was here, the wheel was here.
Yep.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but again, that's exactly what it is. So, but now Trevor has a very reliable Honda Fit as his daily
do.
driver, and he also has a Sky now. So he, as the rally art still sits with a destroyed transmission,
Yep.
You know, it's stuff that just happens. You know, so
That
in
little
fact,
fit though, man. He comes pulling into work, hauling in with a trailer.
it's a 6-speed manual. I love it. I love
Talk
that
about
fit.
redlining a car every day.
Yeah. Now, see, low power cars are very fun to do. But also, too, kind of going on, like, it's funny because I cracked a sleeve on the snowball when it was making over 600, racing another bike on the way home from work. And that was a pain in the behind. Guys, getting on a tow truck, waiting for a tow truck to come and get my Cobalt on the side of the road for like 3 hours. And then after that, I had 2 tow trucks come because one said, oh, this thing's modified, I can't touch it. And he just left.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I had AAA, and AAA saved my life. So then I got it to my house. And from my house, I had to pay to get it to ZZP, for seeing what was going on with it. But yeah, like I learned very quickly, especially if you have a fast daily driver. First of all, you're gonna get in trouble because if you floor it by yourself, pro tip, don't floor it by yourself, guys. I know you want to feel the power of your car. If you're gonna floor it, race somebody, and you got a 50-50 chance that they're not pulling you over. So if it's just you, 100% it's gonna be you. So yeah, pro tip from some guys experienced that a few times.
Yeah, or don't have a straight pipe car. Like, don't just lop off your exhaust. Just get a proper sounding thing. That's
right now, so the snowball has an external dump. And I will say, that has made me temper myself how much I floor it. I floor it in very small spurts because the car is so freaking loud. Like, everyone knows I'm flooring it. Everyone's going to know.
Everyone knows that car starts.
That's true. The whole building shakes when that car starts.
That and the slingshot. Those two is like ground shaking.
Matt's Grand Prix, the snowball, and the slingshot. I figure, like, those are cars that are, like, the loudest that'll do a lot of shaky. You have any more questions that are coming up with you?
Yeah, let's rattle through some questions and probably wrap it up.
Yeah. Was it 400 horsepower 1.4 male in stock intake with porting? Yes, it was. It was ZZPerformance parts that are on that car. How easy is it to do a fuel pump on a W body? Any tips, tricks to make it easier?
What was the question again?
Yeah.
How easy is it to do a fuel pump on a W body? Any tips, tricks?
It's a pain in the ass, honestly.
I know that.
I actually answer this email quite often. Don't change it until you have to. Put a temporary fuel pressure gauge on your car, and if it's holding pressure at full throttle, don't touch it. But let's say that you have to. Let's say it went bad or something. It's pretty easy to access the trap door to get to it. It's pretty easy to pull it out. There's multiple styles of fuel pumps, so you kind of have to pull your canister out and remove the fuel pump itself and then determine what pump you need. Because we have the ZZP 350 and the Walbro, and the AEM, I'm sorry. And both of them have different style inlets. Yeah. So you kind of have to select the right one that matches yours.
Yep.
Because if you just drop a fuel pump in there with the sock attached, it's not going to scavenge the tank properly. Mm-hmm. So what you're going to have a car that sucks a canister dry, and then anytime you're under a quarter tank of fuel, your car runs out of fuel.
Yep.
And then it sits there for like a minute or two, and then the canister slowly fills back up again, and then it starts up again.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely something you want to avoid, and you definitely need to select the proper pump.
It's actually Cobalt. A lot of the Cobalts have the problem is how the tank's designed too. So it's very, very similar. Let's see. When will the Sonic control lines be back in stock? Hit the in-stock reminder on the bottom left hand of the page. We will email you the moment it will come back into stock.
Yep. When they come back, don't sleep though, because
they're gonna go out
stuff
fast.
is going
It's
fast.
COVID season, man. Everything we put on the shelf is gone.
Yeah.
Just got the same email about coil packs. They're like, you've been out forever. I'm like, they've been back in stock quite a few times, but you have to click that in-stock reminder because we will email you the second they're back in stock. And if you don't, they're gone in a day.
Have your card ready, pull up that email, buy it.
Well, that's the good thing about our website. It saves all your information if you order right from the website.
Glemmy Duluth says, I have asked this question before but got a mixed answer. I'm taking my 14 Cadillac 2.0 to get it flushed today. What coolant is the best that will last long and won't damage anything? Honestly, man, I feel like coolant is so over.
GM stuff is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why people complain about the orange GM coolant. It's fine.
That's fine.
It's made to have sediment in it, so when it touches oxygen, it will plug a hole.
Yeah.
However, you don't want to put 130,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Just swap it out at 60, 80,000 miles with that same orange stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
People
Good
make
stuff.
too big of a deal on coolant. Like, we got it on the green, coolant is coolant, guys. Like,
I do it all the time.
Dexcool. I run the snowball runs Dexcool, my ATS runs Dexcool.
My vehicles run Dexcool too.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have one of our older platforms, Cobalts, Grand Prix, and it's got over 100,000 miles, you bought it used, just change it once. Don't worry about it.
Fine, Are 300 HC3 inserts made to order parts? No, if they're out of stock, that means we're either working on getting another stock of them, or we're going to be redesigning them. So as soon
Yeah,
as
and that one's a redesign.
Yeah, that's going to be a redesign.
So that one's going to be a little bit, but it'll be better than the last one.
As it always is. Outcast Sings ATS Camaro intercooler work on CTS? No. Unfortunately, it's not. The CTS, the intercooler parts numbers are different. The lengths are different. So you can make anything you want work, but that's kind of be your own thing for, we won't be able to tech support that really. Yeah, 90 miles, man, that's still fine. You can do a coolant flush anytime you want, but still.
You don't even have to do a flush, just a drain and fill. That's something you could do in your driveway.
Yeah. Honestly, man, if you're going to pay to do it, I wouldn't even do that. Just drain it and fill it.
Drain and fill.
It's kind of go back to the main topic just to kind of
wrap it up.
Yeah,
yep.
kind of wrap
if anyone
it up.
has last thoughts, feel free to.
I do support modding a daily driver. However, it just needs to be done very smartly.
Yes.
Because if the main thing we don't want to happen to you guys, to you customers, is you get stuck with a car that you've gone too far with, and you don't know how to either work on it, or you don't have a place to get it to, or you're stranded, you're out of work for a few days. Yep. We've seen people that with not even modded cars, I need this part right away, but they order on Saturday, and then we have 30 emails by Monday because I need this part by Sunday. We'll say, man, we're not open that day. But basically, always put yourself in a position to have a backup or a friend that can take
just
you.
Think ahead.
Think ahead.
Do I have towing on this car?
Yeah.
Do I have a spare ride? Do I have a spare part? Something.
And to say that, don't forget about your brakes and tires. Brakes, tires, and suspension. All you guys.
Yep.
People ignore the maintenance on that. Stop ignoring maintenance. Maintenance is what's going to keep
that
you
is actually really common. Like, people will bring in a car. I'm an install bay manager, so I see this all the time. They'll bring in a car that needs maintenance done to it.
Yep.
Like,
they want to go fast instead.
Ball joints are blown out. Struts are blown out. Top plates are blown out.
Yeah.
But they're buying turbo kits and crap. Like, come on.
Guys,
like, tight suspension. Like, that's a safety / handling. Like, come on. Keep up on your maintenance.
And that's what's it. Once again, guys, please check out. It's on our YouTube page. Top 10 ways to have a successful build.
Yes.
I literally say, talk about your maintenance. Do your maintenance. If you don't do your maintenance, you cannot have a sound car. We're not going to dyno a car. If you bring us a car that's not mechanically sound, you're going to pay to fix it before we put on the dyno. You can't bring a clunky shit box to us and then have us expect to do it. But bottom line is, do your maintenance. Do your reliability mods. Keep buying parts. Keep modding your cars. That's what we're here for. We'll let you know what works, but do it responsibly.
A lot of people don't realize that we use brakes and tires on the dyno too.
Yeah. Brakes and tires.
They think, oh, it's just a dyno. They won't even notice.
Crappy all seasons, especially 300 guys get these huge sidewall. Get summer tires and get winter tires. All seasons they don't do anything good.
Yeah.
They're just there.
No seasons.
Yeah. No all seasons. No seasons.
Yeah. No seasons. I love that saying.
Yeah. So. Guys, get good tires for your car. Keep on the maintenance. Mod your cars. We have brake kits. We have exhaust components. Make sure your car is mechanically sound. Mod your car. Enjoy it, and mod your dailies. Then you do that. Just have a backup plan. That's all it is. I think that's it.
And you can always, when you're emailing us, you can always be like, hey, tell us your story, and then listen to us when we give you advice.
Yes. Yeah.
We can give you advice on how to do it
We've all been where you guys have been. We all modded our dailies. We've all enjoyed modding our dailies. We've all done it in a bunch of different ways. So
a performance part is also not a necessity part. So don't email us and say, hey, this new part that I ordered for my car that I don't necessarily need is not in, and now I can't drive my car. You can still drive your car.
Yes.
I understand you want it. Completely understand.
Right.
Everybody gets excited for their parts. Like, I would be in the exact same position.
Yeah.
But don't tell me you need a performance part in order for your car to keep running.
Yeah, to keep moving. Yeah.
When it
we
still
got
has
people
a stock
say,
part.
oh, I ordered this a week ago and I took out my front manifold and I can't drive my 3800 now. Put your stock manifold back on and drive.
You'll be fine.
Just like we've had to do in the past.
Many times.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do to get to work. And you gotta get to work.
I still have to wait.
Yeah.
Everyone has to wait. It's a part of the game.
Yep.
It is as little. I don't want. Side tangent. About to trigger the heck out of me. Guys, I don't want to hear no complaints about none of y'all waiting for nothing. I've had to wait for my sectional for almost 10 to 12 weeks right now. I don't want to hear none about none of y'all waiting.
I thought he was going to say a car part.
Oh no, I'm going to say a car part.
Canards.
And my wheels. My wheels took 9 weeks to get here, and I waited patiently, didn't bother anybody, and they showed up and they were fine. And then I've also waited like a year and a half for Trevor to finish my canards on my car. Because we're doing some custom aero stuff you guys don't see on snow.
My mom is waiting on a washer. She hasn't had a washer for 6 months.
Holy.
So come on, you people! Like keep this in mind. We want you to have your parts.
As
but
much as you
want your parts.
Yeah, as much as you want your parts, That's how much we want to send you your parts.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah,
again,
it's not fun. I don't like telling you have to wait.
Yeah.
Because it honestly hurts my feelings too.
Yeah.
Because
Also-
I know how sad you're going to get.
exactly. And also, from a business standpoint, we don't want you to refund your freaking car parts. That's it. When it's not in your hands, it's yours. Kind of thing. So, but yeah, guys, like, be patient with us. This year is really crappy. I've had to wait a long time for stuff, but it's sometimes car parts make my hood story. My hood.
I thought that's the one you were going to say.
God. I ordered a hood for my car.
Sad.
They said it'll be 10 weeks. I was like, okay. Randomly, the order gets canceled. I'm like, what happened? Why did it cancel? Oh, the guy that worked there quit. He didn't process your order. You have to reorder it. All right, fine. Reorder it. 10 weeks. All right, the day this should be shipped is October 28th. I ordered in freaking August. And then, all of a sudden, I say, it's like 2 days. It's like the 30th. It's like, hey, guys, is this hood done? What's going on with the hood? Don't mean to bother. I know you guys are busy, and COVID's a really tough year for everyone. I just kind of want to get a kind of a rough statement. No rush. Oh yeah, the mold needs to be repaired. So I'm like, wait, you haven't even started on it? Oh geez, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of nervous here. Would I eventually get my money back if it doesn't ever come in? I don't want to wait the entire year to do this. I can use it for Christmas money for other stuff. Like, yeah, we can refund you now. You can reorder at another time when the mold's repaired. Okay, works for me. But yeah, so I want to hear no complaint about people having to wait like 3 or 4 weeks. It's fine. You will live.
Everybody's waiting right now.
Everybody.
It's bad.
I mean, I'm reading all the comments right now.
What?
Everyone's waiting on stuff. Everybody is. Yeah.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We are too.
Yeah, well, trust me, guys.
I'm waiting for this to end. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, GTO Day, we are, and so for everyone to know too, sorry I keep kind of extending this a little bit, but these next few weeks are really short weeks for us, so if you email us on Christmas Eve, you're not getting a reply. Usually I have to reply from home sometimes. I'm with my family, with my friends. My mom's coming into town. I haven't seen her in a little bit. I'm spending time with family. You guys remember, we all do have lives outside of ZZP.
Yeah.
So.
And
we haven't seen our family in a minute, so.
Yeah.
A lot
And
of
you
us
don't
have,
need your remote tune. It's not like you're taking your tune off your car and your car's not drivable. Like, hey, give me some time. Like, if it's Christmas Day, don't expect a tune. Even though I might actually do it.
Yeah, so if you're bored, you might actually do it. But guys, give us a little break too. Alfred, hey dude, I know he said it wouldn't be a ZZP Live unless Ryan goes off. I mean, that's I said I always gotta have plans about something. Anthony Shaw been waiting on a hot tub for 2 months. So I mean,
I don't feel bad for you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Hot tub sounds nice now though, in 20 degrees.
Yeah. So I mean, this other guy's waiting on custom JE pistons for 6 months. Like it's Oh, Will Casimiro's in here now. Will Casimiro. Tim is the man in my book. My Nitro kit is on the way, and my ZZP test control arms are on back order.
Oh
Woo!
man,
Woo!
Ryan, you better look out.
Woo!
Grab-a-lane!
Whoa, ATS from New York.
Yeah, that
I feel a call out for Ryan here soon.
No,
Ooh.
I don't need none of
How are we
that.
looking on questions, Ryan? Was that about it?
As far as questions, I think
Yeah.
that's about it, guys.
Any more? Wait till this video's done. Put them in the comments of the video that posts to YouTube, and Ryan or us will get in there and answer you. So
Got you, Alfred.
feel free. Merry Christmas early. We
Tim
won't
is
see
the
you till
man.
then.
Tim, you're almost as popular as my beautiful face today.
We'll try to sneak Tim in here more often. He's a busy man, so
Very busy, man.
take him when we can get him.
Yeah, but guys, thank you once again. Sorry, we went a little bit longer. We hope you guys enjoyed
That's
this
all right.
spitballing and stuff.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, everyone. So again, you guys know who it is. Ryan D at ZZP.
Ashley at ZZP.
And Trevor.
Tim at ZZP.
Yep.
Turbo Tim. You guys still
Dang it.
suck at this stuff. God, you suck.
Ishta at ZZP.